So I know typically Tuesdays are reserved for movie reviews, but I didn't really have anything movie related to talk about today, and I have a lot of TV stuff to talk about, so I'm just figured I'd double up this week on TV reviews. And today I'm going to be talking about season 5 of Arrested Development on Netflix. Now I'm not going to divide up, season 5 part 1, season 5 part 2, because honestly, that I think that would have required me to rewatch season 5, and I did not rewatch the first half of season 5 before watching the second half. I don't really even like that they split the parts up. I don't understand why they did that. I hope Netflix doesn't keep that trend going. I feel like I've talked about this before on the channel. But so I'm just going to talk about them kind of as a whole. I'll probably reference them individually sometimes, because I did like the second half of season 5 more than the first half. I thought it was an improvement. And I think the main problem with season 5 is honestly, it's kind of cleaning up the mess of season 4 when it comes to storylines. Because while I did like season 4, I enjoyed the little, the way they did it with the different perspectives, and, that the non-linear way they told the story. I liked that, and I liked the Fateful Consequences remix they did too. I like season 4. I mean, and obviously with season 4, they couldn't get any of these people together in the same room at the same time, so they introduced a lot of side characters. They introduced a lot of new side characters and re-brought back some of the old side characters and gave them maybe more screen time. It was just it's just a kind of like a gimmick to make up for the fact that they can't get these actors together, and that was a big draw of season 5. It was like, hey, we got the cast together. You can actually see them together and interacting without green screen and revisiting the same scenes over and over again, which I did enjoy. I think one of my favorite parts of season 4 was the one scene in the apartment, and continuing to see that scene, and every time you see that scene, the camera would pan over and would reveal another person who we didn't know was there earlier. So I did like that. But season 4, it's just left us with a mess of storylines that after 6 years of waiting for season 5, you just kind of lose track of where you are. There's the wall, there's fake block, there's the murder stuff, there's running for office, and important side characters that are kind of dropped. Like Herbert Love from season 4 was kind of a big side character for that season, and he doesn't show up again in this, which is one of the things that I kind of didn't like about season 5. Is there were some season 4 side characters that I really enjoyed that didn't show up again. I mean, you can't have everybody back, I get that. But there were some side characters from season 4 I would have liked to see again, even if it was just, for one small guest spot in just one episode. Herbert Love, Oscar's friends that he makes, Job's crew, John Bear Jr., just because that's Ben Schwartz and he's always great in what he does. So I would have liked to see them again. There was also some surprising omissions from side characters. I really expected to see Anne in season 5. I'm kind of surprised that she wasn't in there. She's always been a big part of the show for some reason in the 4. I know she's not in season 1, but she's in 2 through 4. She's a big part of those seasons, so it was kind of surprising that she wasn't in there. Also, An Young wasn't in there, but I don't even know if he's still acting anymore or whatever. Who knows? And then there were other side characters that I would have liked to see again. Bob Loblaw, J. Walter Weatherman, Carl Weathers was great. The Carl Weathers stuff was some of my favorite stuff they did in Arrested Development. His little bits. Who else? There was one person. Oh yeah, Wayne Jarvis. I think he has one of my favorite jokes in Arrested Development with the Circus Soleil thing. So I guess there was a lot of side characters that I would have liked to see more of, or some of, any of, because we didn't get any of them. We got more of Steve Holt, which was nice. I liked what they did with his character, the little bit they gave him. Of course, Barry is always fun. It's always great to see Barry in it. And there were some new characters, not a lot of new characters really. Not many, honestly. Dusty was a big new character introduced in season 5. He didn't really get his time to shine until the second half of season 5, but I really liked what they did with his character. I really enjoyed it, especially towards the end of season 5. And then there was the kind of flashback stuff. I'm not going to get into spoilers about that. About what that is. But I really enjoyed that stuff too. I thought that was a nice touch. But I think the best thing about season 5, in my opinion, is definitely the ending, because one, it could very well be a series ending, a series finale. It just kind of ends with like, okay, we're ending, but more stuff could always happen. It definitely leaves the possibility of a season 6 opening, and just the way it ends, it wraps up all these convoluted storylines left over from season 4. It wraps them up, and then, well, it wraps them up in a satisfying way, and then once that's wrapped up, you feel like a season 6 would be better for it now. It just kind of feels like a season 6 of Arrested Development would be cleaner, almost like a soft reboot. They wouldn't have any baggage left over from season 5. Because if this were to happen, I feel like it would be another long wait, 5 or 6, 7 years before we would see a season 6. Which, that's if that even happens. I don't even know if the season 6 will happen. It's looking like it might not. I think people are going to try. I know there are some people who are going to push for it. Probably Netflix and the creators of the show are going to maybe want to do more. The big problem would be the cast, obviously, because it just seems like there's a lot of problems going on with the cast right now. Some people are busy with other things. Some people don't want to act anymore, which is a big problem. Some people don't want to act with each other anymore. I know there was a lot of controversy about how some people were treated on the set. I'm not gonna talk about that, but that's a thing too that might influence who decides to come back. Some people said they don't want to come back to Arrested Development specifically. So, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a season 6. And if we did, who knows what that would be like. But I'll say that I enjoyed season 5 a lot. I think regardless of the quality of the show, it's still fun. It's still fun to watch. I still enjoy watching these characters and the jokes and the references. Something I noticed in season 5 is they didn't do any of the Sound of Silence, I don't think. Maybe they did it once. But I know Sound of Silence was a big thing in season 4. I don't know if it was introduced in the original seasons 1 to 3, but they didn't do any of that, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. It's definitely one of my favorite recurring jokes that they do. So yeah, I enjoyed season 5. I also enjoyed season 4. They're not as good as the first 3 seasons. I'd say they're as good as each other, which is something. I would definitely watch a season 6. I've been a fan of Arrested Development for a while, so I'll keep, I'll be looking forward to it. Cautiously optimistic, I suppose you should say. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this, and I will see you guys next time.